evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Tuesday, the 29th of December. At least 23 killed as suicide bomber hits government office in Pakistan. 4 terrorists involved in Peshawar school attack executed. An Afghanistan President puts conditions before Pakistan on peace talks with Taliban. And now for all the details. A blast near a government office in Pakistan's northwestern province of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa has killed 23 people and injured several on Tuesday. The blast occurred near the National Database and Registration Authority office in Mardan district at a time when it was crowded with people. Police said that a motorcycle-borne suicide attacker had rammed through the gate of the crowded office after being denied entry and detonated the bomb. Several people are said to be in critical condition and the death toll is feared to rise. The area has been cordoned off as rescue and security sources rushed to the site. No group has claimed responsibility of the attack yet. And staying on news from the country, 4 men sentenced to death by military court in Pakistan were hanged on Tuesday. Military courts were set up in Pakistan to tackle terrorism cases in the aftermath of the Peshawar school carnage last year.
The executions were carried out in Kohat in northwestern Pakistan. The 4 men were sentenced to death by military courts in April on charges of facilitating suicide bombings, causing damage to educational institutions, providing explosive materials to suicide bombers, providing vehicles to terrorists, and murder of armed forces personnel. Earlier, on December 4th, Pakistan hanged 4 men convicted in the army public school attack in Peshawar last year. The gruesome Taliban attack on the school had led to a nationwide crackdown on extremism and establishment of military courts this January for a 2-year period. It also led to resumption of capital punishment after a 6-year moratorium. But rights groups have criticized Pakistan for resuming the execution, accusing Pakistan of hanging an estimated 300 people in less than a year. Many also said the trial courts failed to meet the standards necessary for a fair trial and lack transparency.
Moving on, rejecting charges of federal government's interference in Sindh's affairs, Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif said Pakistan government respects provincial autonomy. The provincial Sindh government had expressed concern over the lingering issue of Rangers bars in Karachi.
Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, who was in Karachi on a day-long visit on Monday, held a brief meeting with Sindh Chief Minister Qaim Ali Shah at the airport. He was accompanied by Finance Minister Ishaq Dar and Commerce Minister Khurram Dastgir Khan. During the brief interaction, the PM reportedly expressed his views in response to the Chief Minister's complaint that the centre was not paying heed to Sindh's reservations over the issue of Rangers bars and that Interior Minister Chaudhry Nisar Ali Khan was interfering in the province's affairs. The Federation has all respect for provincial autonomy, Sharif assured the Chief Minister during his visit. The Sindh Assembly had passed a resolution imposing limitations on military in Karachi that had apparently set up a showdown between the powerful military and the civilian government ruled by the opposition Pakistan People's Party or PPP. The Pakistan government, which broadly supports the military-backed campaign in the commercial hub, had also rejected the resolution, which gave way to a potentially explosive war of words that broke out between the Sindh and the federal government. The provincial government's resolution clips the number of crimes for which the Rangers could detain suspects to targeted killings, extortion, kidnapping for ransom and sectarian killings. Although the crackdown by Rangers in Karachi in late 2013 had brought down its sky-high murder rates, critics say the campaign has increased the number of extrajudicial killings. Shah is likely to visit Islamabad, where the officials concerned will also be called in to find an amicable solution of the issues confronting Sindh.
Meanwhile, Afghan President Ashraf Ghani has put forward few prerequisites before Pakistan regarding the peace talks with Taliban, reports have claimed. The conditions were put during his meeting with Pakistan's Army Chief General Raheel Sharif in Kabul.
President Ghani reportedly asked General Sharif to prove whether Pakistan's intentions over the resumption of peace process with Taliban are honest by March next year. If the deadline is not met, then Afghanistan will withdraw from the peace reconciliation talks, he added. He also asked Pakistan to honestly cooperate regarding peace in the region. Ties between the two nations had earlier soured as Afghanistan blamed Pakistan of sheltering Taliban militants on its soil. President Ghani also made it clear that the reconciliation talks should be on protecting the democratic institutions of Afghanistan and that Taliban should join the discussions as a group and not as a parallel government, a source said. General Raheel Sharif was in Kabul on Sunday for a day-long visit. During his visit, both the countries decided to hold a quadrilateral meeting with China and US in January to form a comprehensive roadmap to resume stalled peace talks.
Life is an everyday struggle for people in Pakistan-administered Kashmir, and people have to hit streets to demand for what is their basic right. Recently, female health workers held a demonstration against non-payment of their salaries for the last 9 months.
Health workers alleged that they were not given salaries for the last 9 months despite repeated requests to the administration. Shouting slogans against the administration at the Central Press Club in Muzaffarabad, the protesting employees urged the government to immediately release their salaries.
हम लोग जो यहाँ पे सरापा एहतजाज हैं तो वो उस जुल्म के ख़िलाफ़ हैं कि गुज़श्ता 2 साल से हमें मुस्तकिल किया गया लेकिन ताहाल हमें तनख्वाहों की अदायगी नहीं की गई और हद जुल्म का आप देखें कि 9 महीने से हमारे जो जितने भी मुलाजमीन हैं उनको तनख्वाह नहीं दी.
Around 3,300 female health workers are working in different hospitals across Pakistani Kashmir. In January 2013, the federal government of Pakistan under the then Prime Minister Raja Parvez Ashraf had regularized their services, but the employees are denied their rightful dues.
और इसके अलावा बेशुमार हमारे ऐसे मसाइल हैं कि जो गवर्नमेंट आज़ाद कश्मीर और गवर्नमेंट पाकिस्तान इनको हल नहीं कर रही. आप देखें कि घर घर जाकर से तो सफाई का पैगाम देने वाली, लोगों को घर की दहलीज तक उनको सेहत की सहूलियात देने वाली लेडी हेल्थ वर्कर और वाहिद आज़ाद कश्मीर ऐसा जोन है जो पोलियो फ्री जोन है. और जिन लोगों की वजह से वो पोलियो फ्री जोन स्टेट बनी है, आपके वज़ीर आज़म बड़े बड़े प्लेटफॉर्मों पे जाके ये फ़ख्र से कहते हैं कि आज़ाद कश्मीर पोलियो फ्री है, लेकिन जिन लोगों की वजह से है उन लोगों को आज तनख्वाहें तक लेने के लिए इस महज़ब दौर में, इस इस्लामी मुल्क में रोडों पर आके अपनी इज़्ज़त और अपनी सारी चीज़ों को शर्मनाक पोजीशन में लेके जाना पड़ रहा है.
It is not only the health department, but employees in other departments are also facing similar problems in the region. Pakistan-administered Kashmir, which was illegally annexed by Pakistan 6 decades ago, continues to deny basic amenities to the people whose plea for a better life often go unheard.
Moving on to neighbouring India, at least 130 militants have been gunned down or arrested in India's northern Kashmir this year, authorities have said. The region has been a bone of contention between India and Pakistan for decades.
Kashmir remained volatile in 2015 with Pakistani and Indian troops embroiled in fiery exchanges. The line of control remained tense as Indian troops conducted counter-operations to give befitting reply to the militants infiltrating from Pakistan.
Overall, करीबन 130-140 मिलिटेंट्स जो है उनको या तो वो वेरियस एनकाउंटर्स में मारे गए या जो है उनको अरेस्ट किया गया. तो उस हिसाब से ये साल में काफ़ी कामयाबी हमें उस फ्रंट पे मिली है.
Though the number of local recruitments was not alarming, it has seen a rise this year, Gilani added.
इस साल ओवरऑल पूरे साल में लोकल रिक्रूटमेंट थोड़ी सी बढ़ी है, बट कोई इतनी अलार्मिंग नहीं है. जैसे पिछले साल 64 लोकल रिक्रूट्स हुए थे और इस साल करीबन 72 के करीब ये नंबर है.
India accuses Pakistan of training and arming militants and infiltrating them across the de facto border, the line of control dividing Kashmir, an allegation that Pakistan denies. The South Asian rivals fought 2 of their 3 wars since independence in 1947 over Muslim-majority Kashmir, which they both claim in full but rule in part.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed readiness to boost India's relations with Iran in various areas, including trade, investment, oil and gas, connectivity and port development. He conveyed his views to Iran's Minister of Economic Affairs and Finance, Ali Tayyab, who was in India for the 18th session of India-Iran Joint Commission. Tayyab also called on Indian Foreign Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj. During the Joint Commission, both the leaders reviewed the progress in trade and economic cooperation between the two nations and also discussed the possibilities in cooperation in railways. Tayyab also suggested participation of India's public and private sector in development of ports and Chabahar Free Trade Zone and in setting up industrial units in the country. Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. At least 23 killed as suicide bomber hits government office in Pakistan. 4 terrorists involved in Peshawar school attack executed. An Afghanistan President puts conditions before Pakistan on peace talks with Taliban. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.